Hello everybody and welcome to this episode of Rezal Vision, and the first in a series I'm going to be calling I Wish. That's because I started ordering stuff from the website wish.com in an attempt to review some of their cheap and potentially sketchy looking technical items and to see if they're worth the reasonably small prices that are attached to them. This may or may not always be gaming or PC related, but I'll try and always keep it tech related, and we'll see how that goes. Well, today we're going to be starting off with this! Yes, it's a bag! I haven't opened this one yet, but this is a wireless vertical mouse, and I use a vertical mouse at work, so I was interested to see how a £7 one compares to the quite expensive ones you get through like your DSE department, like the health and safety ones, where they're normally in excess of £100, and this one is £7 on Wish, excluding delivery. So let's open it up and have a look. Excuse me while I palm away the address information. Okay, well, that's everything in the bag. And so it's been delivered to me in this sandwich bag, which is great packaging, gotta say. I mean, for something that has travelled around the world to get to me, this is the extent of the packaging they sent it in. Okay, well, that's the mouse. Comes with a picture of itself. I think that's like guidance. It's very light without batteries, like really, really light. And a decent size though, I've got to say. I mean, that's like first impressions, feels decent in the hand. I believe that's probably the USB receiver there. Yeah, okay, so that's the USB receiver. It's 2.4 gigahertz wireless, and it's supposed to be able to do 800, 1200 and 1600 DPI. It has 6 buttons. 1, 2 there, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that is the DPI changing button there, and then the rest are your standard left and right clicks, scroll click, and forward and back. Let's have a look, see what type of batteries it takes. It has an on-off switch, which is nice. It is optical. Uses, looks like AAAs, which I've got set of rechargeable AAAs here. Let's plug them in and see how it goes. There doesn't appear to be anything fancy about it, but for £7 I wouldn't expect there to be. Okay, so they're in. I'm going to pop in the receiver. Get some of this packaging out of the way and turn this on. Okay, so let's see if my device is ready. Wireless receiver is set up and ready to go. Okay, so I'm now using that on screen. Okay, there is definitely a noticeable difference in how DPI works, and honestly, it feels quite nice. This here is my daily driver. That is a Logitech G402, and I use that for all gaming purposes. This is my work mouse. This is an Evoluent VerticalMouse for right, because you can get left-handed versions, and I'm pretty sure this is one of the larger ones you can get. And if we look at them side by side, because that's the more direct comparison, I mean, I prefer typically flat mice for gaming, and but I do suffer from a bit of wrist strain, and that's why I have this for work. And I figured for £7, if this works out quite well, I can use this for work in my home office, which is typically how I've been working these days. Mostly so that I don't have to be switching out a cabled mouse. I can just leave this one plugged in, and then when I go to gaming and other stuff, I can just move it out of the way, turn it off, and it's not taking up any extra space. Its USB receiver, as you saw, is tiny, so it's... oh, I said it didn't have any RGB. I was wrong. it has very faint RGB along the side here, so here's me getting very distracted. And as I pick it up, it actually does have a light. It's not good, it's not great. It actually has more colours than this thing, which only goes through a blue spectrum, which is slightly annoying because I'd like to be able to change the colour on a whim, because all of the rest of my RGB can, but that can't. This is cycling through some RGB, and let's see if there's any way to change that. So I do wonder, one of my old mice, you could hold down one of the mouse buttons and it would change the RGB on it, but that doesn't seem to be the case here. Oh, it flashes brighter when it's in motion. That's interesting, because I was wondering what was causing it to get brighter, and it's the light coming through from the optical light that's making this brighter. So when you're moving your mouse around, I think regardless of what color it's set to, this bleeds through here, which isn't a bad thing. And again, for a £7 mouse, I wasn't expecting this at all, so nice. Okay, so back to how it feels. It's got a sort of a matte finish to it, which honestly feels very nice on the hand, and if it doesn't wear away, it is very comfortable. Like this, although it's expensive, this is that sort of material that over time in use will just start showing wear and fading, and I'm not 100% sure if this will do the same. I'm hoping that this will end up being a nice tougher material. I mean, this is still going to be my permanent work mouse, and it's of a slightly better shape. But again, these go for about $90 through Evoluent's websites. You can probably get them a bit cheaper elsewhere, but that's a $90 mouse, which is what, 70 quid? Versus a £7 mouse that is wireless, feels nice, and honestly, I am way more impressed than I thought I was going to be. Let's test out the scroll action on it. I'm going to go to a site which has a bit more scrolling on it. Yeah, that feels smooth. It's got, in fact, it feels very similar to the Evoluent's in the scrolling capacity. The Logitech feels nicer. It's got a bit more of a tactile feel to it. This feels a bit more clicky, but honestly, it's not. It's £7. Again, this is a gaming mouse that's so much more expensive than this wireless mouse from Wish. I was not expecting to like this, but the shape of it's quite nice. It doesn't have the thumb rest. I keep knocking the mouse. It doesn't have the thumb rest that the Evoluent one comes with, which I find for prolonged use is quite nice to have. I say thumb rest, pinky rest. But like if I position my little finger like that, I probably wouldn't notice that over long periods. It's like I don't have anywhere to put these two fingers anyway when using my smaller mouse, and they just drag along the table, so I don't see that as being much of a difference there. And honestly, I prefer that this mouse has only 2 buttons here against the 3 buttons on this one, because with traditional mice, to scroll up and down a page, you hold down the middle scroll wheel. On this, you have to hold down the middle mouse button, and this is your right click, and so it becomes very weird. I mean, like, your fingers are well spaced for it, but it's not how you would naturally expect to use a mouse. You'd expect left and right click, and this finger doesn't normally do anything, so trying to retrain your fingers for that to be the right click, I find myself clicking the wrong thing fairly often, whereas this one, it's just straight away is how you'd be used to using a mouse on a PC. So yeah, it looks good as far as I'm concerned. It fits my hand well, and I've got big hands. Like, against a normal sized mouse, my hand eclipses them. So it feels quite comfortable for my size. It probably feels quite comfortable for smaller hands as well. This fills my hand. This, for a smaller hand, I think would be a bit more comfortable than it is for me, but is honestly it's good. It's nice. It's £7. It's insane. I mean, you'll need batteries. They don't come with it, but if you get yourself a set of rechargeable batteries like I do, that's never going to be a worry. You can just keep a spare set on charge while you're using the main one. So yeah, I didn't expect to be here right now, but I recommend this mouse. This has actually fulfilled what I thought it was going to in terms of a work mouse. Again, I'm probably never going to game using a vertical mouse, but for ergonomic use, for work, for using this for like 8-9 hours a day, yeah, it's a nice mouse. So my first delve into a piece of Wish technology, thumbs up for £7 plus delivery. That is a decent mouse. I will put a link into the description if it's still available on Wish. Their product lines switch out very quickly, but it looks like it's still available on there right now. So yeah, if you're in need of a vertical mouse, if you suffer from wrist strain when you're using your computer, this is a really good way to go to get something that's cheap, wireless. You can move out the way when you don't want to use it for evening or gaming use, and it's really not going to break your bank. So wish fulfilled. Well, thank you very much for joining me in the first of these new Wish related videos. If you liked it, please subscribe and hit the like button, and if you want to see more of this type of content, please drop me a comment, and perhaps leave me a comment with what you would like to see me review from Wish. Maybe link me to something. I'm trying to keep these cheap. I don't want to be reviewing £200 items from Wish, but pop me a link in the description of something you'd like me to take a look at, and I'll do my best to get it in and take a look. Well, thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.